Chapter 1. Abducted by accident. It all started on a Tuesday. I was just an average guy. Jason Carter, 28, underpaid barista, over-caffeinated insomniac, when a beam of violet light yanked me off the sidewalk and into the belly of a spaceship. 1 second I was walking home from my shift. The next I was sprawled on a cold metallic floor, staring up at a 7-foot-tall alien with glowing amber eyes and a very unimpressed expression. "Human male," the alien droned, scanning me with a handheld device. "Organic composition standard. No detectable combat enhancements. Genetic compatibility. Acceptable." Excuse me. I wheezed, still trying to catch my breath. What the hell just happened? The alien ignored me. "You have been selected as a candidate for the grand matrimonial trial of Warlord Vexera the Unbreakable." Blink. The what? Before I could protest, 2 more aliens, these ones bulkier with spiked armor, grabbed me under the arms and dragged me down a corridor. Chapter 2. The Warlord's Dilemma. Turns out, Warlord Vexera was a 13-foot-tall, 4-armed, crimson-skinned warrior queen from the planet Zarathia. And according to intergalactic law, she had to take a mate before her 300th birthday, or forfeit her throne. The problem? No one in her empire was brave or foolish enough to volunteer. So, her scientists did what any desperate bureaucrats would do. They abducted potential candidates from across the universe. And somehow I made the list. When I was finally shoved into the throne room, a vast obsidian hall lined with alien nobles, I craned my neck up and up and up to meet Vexera's burning golden gaze. She looked me over, unimpressed. "This is the best your machines could find," a nervous scientist squeaked. "He meets the genetic parameters, Your Eminence." Vexera sighed, a sound like distant thunder. "Very well. Let the trials begin." Chapter 3. The Trials of Courtship. I wasn't the only candidate. There were 6 others. Krell the Devourer, a hulking, scale-covered brute who kept licking his lips at me. Xyrix of the Frozen Wastes. A silent, blue-skinned assassin who sharpened his claws while staring into my soul. Plana the Radiant. Shimmering ethereal being who kept trying to merge consciousness with me. Hard pass. Gorik the Unstoppable. A literal rock monster. Nyx the Shadow. A shapeshifter who kept turning into my ex-girlfriend to mess with me. The trials were brutal. The Gauntlet of Flames. An obstacle course. On fire. The Feast of 1,000 Poisons. Exactly what it sounded like. The Dance of the Twin Moons. A deadly ballet where one misstep meant losing a limb. By some miracle and a lot of dumb luck, I survived. But the final trial was the worst. Chapter 4. The Battle of Hearts. The last challenge was simple. Win the Warlord's favor. The other candidates tried grand gestures. Krell decapitated a space beast in her honor. Xyrix composed a haunting war ballad. Plana offered her a miniature star. Me had nothing. So when Vexera turned to me and growled, "What do you offer, human?" Panic. "A joke." Silence. Then I told the dumbest joke I knew. "Why don't skeletons fight each other?" Vexera's eyes narrowed. "Why?" "Because they don't have the guts." Beep. Vexera laughed. A deep, booming sound that shook the room. The other candidates gaped. The nobles gasped. And just like that I won. Chapter 5. Happily ever after, sort of. Turns out no one had ever made Vexera laugh before. Now I'm the first human consort of the Crimson Throne. I have my own wing in her palace, a personal guard who still thinks I'm a spy, and a very intimidating wife who could crush me with one hand. But she also lets me teach her Earth customs, like pizza, bad movies, and sarcasm. And when the other warlords mock her for choosing a fragile human, she just smirks and says, "He survived my trials. Can you say the same?" So yeah, I got abducted by aliens, married a giant warlord, and somehow it's working out. Just don't ask me about the wedding night. Chapter 6. The wedding night and the aftermath. The ceremony was intense. Zorathian weddings involved a blood oath, a ceremonial duel, which Vexera let me win, much to the crowd's outrage, and a feast where I had to eat something that was still moving. But when the last ritual was complete and the crowd dispersed, I found myself alone with my new wife in her private chambers. Vexera loomed over me, her golden eyes unreadable. "So," I said, trying to sound casual, "what now?" She tilted her head. "Now, human, you prove you are more than just a joke." I swallowed hard. Chapter 7. The consort's first test. Turns out, being the warlord's husband wasn't just about fancy robes and alien pizza. The next morning, Vexera dragged me to the war room, where her generals were planning an invasion of the rogue planet Xiphos. "You will assist in strategy," she declared. The generals sneered. "What can a human contribute?" I glanced at the holographic battle map and saw something they didn't. Your plan's got a flaw." Silence, then laughter. Vexera crossed two of her arms. "Explain." Pointed. "You're sending troops through this canyon, right? But look at the mineral deposits. That's volatile rock. One plasma shot and the whole thing collapses." The generals froze. Vexera's lips curled into a slow, terrifying smile. Chapter 8. The Battle of Xiphos. Against all odds, they listened to me. The invasion went smoothly. No ambushes, no cave-ins. The enemy warlord, a hulking brute named Drogath, was captured within hours. When he was brought before Vexera, he snarled, "You got lucky." Vexera smirked. "No, I got smart." Then she glanced at me. "We did." For the first time I felt like more than just a joke. Chapter 9. A New Life Among the Stars. Months passed. I learned the language, the customs, even how to use a plasma pistol, badly. Vexera, for all her terrifying presence, turned out to be surprisingly patient with me. One night, as we stood on her palace's highest balcony, watching 3 moons rise over the Zorathian skyline, she spoke. "You are strange, Jason Carter." I grinned. "Yeah, well, you're giant and covered in battle scars. I'd say we're even." She made a sound that might have been a chuckle. Then, to my shock, she lowered herself to one knee, bringing her face level with mine. "I did not choose you," she admitted. "But I am glad the machines did." And in that moment, I realized something wild. I was happy. Final chapter. The human who tamed a warlord. Today, I'm still the only human on Zorathia. The nobles still whisper, the warriors still test me, and I still wake up screaming from nightmares about the feast of 1,000 poisons. But when Vexera walks into a room and the entire empire bows, except for me because she hates when I bow, she always looks at me first. And when the other warlords ask why she keeps me around, she just says, "Because he is mine." And honestly, that's enough for me.